the White House. John Decker, Fox News.
Also expected in the coming week, a meeting between Republican lawmakers and Deputy Attorney General Rod Rosenstein. The focus, comments allegedly made by Rosenstein that talked about the wire to record President Trump. House Republican Bob Goodlatte tells Fox and Friends he recently spoke to Rosenstein over the phone.
I requested a call from him so that I could personally invite him to come and meet with me and others involved in the investigation into what happened in 2016 and early 2017.
According to reporting by the New York Times, Rosenstein also suggested invoking the 25th Amendment to possibly remove President Trump from office. He has denied those statements. Ted Turner, the billionaire founder of cable news channel CNN, says he is suffering from a form of dementia that leaves him exhausted and forgetful. He's 79. Camp Tuso, Fox News Radio.
Are you thinking of buying or selling your home? Downsizing? Upsizing? Investing? Are you relocating? Want to know your local market conditions? Are you behind on payments? Are you looking for improvement tips? Well, what if your home didn't sell? This is Real Estate with Ryan, your hometown expert and trusted source for the most up-to-date information. And now your host, Ryan.
Good morning, everyone. Hope you're doing well on a Saturday here in East Tennessee. Thank you for joining Real Estate with Ryan every Saturday, 11 o'clock on Talk Radio 92.3 FM. We try to bring you the up-to-date information on the real estate market, kind of keep you up to date as we go into the fall season. So we're officially almost 90 days out and this year's done. How amazing has this year, or quickly has this year flown? Time is really flying, and in the real estate market, we've been so busy. This September has been busier than I can remember in the last couple of years. So a lot of contracts, a lot of inventory, a lot of people that are pulling and waiting their house off the market till spring. Believe it or not, you may be missing out. So we'll talk about that, the fall market, what to expect in the inventory. What do we see here going 2019? I've got a lot of things that I'm going to cover here in this show, kind of just talk about where we're projecting 2019. And of course, any questions you guys have. There's never a silly question, whether it's mortgage, title, anything related to real estate. If I can help you, we'll do that. One thing we won't do is predict the game this week. I went out on a limb last week in Florida, and I was really feeling good about that. I thought it'd be a couple score game, maybe a field goal will win it, and we were sadly disappointed. So we won't do that. We wish the Vols well. They're on at 3:30 today. If you're out listening to Real Estate with Ryan, we appreciate you following us. We've got tickets next week that will go out, Alabama game. Make sure you're following us on social media. We'll talk about it on both of our radio stations if you don't know. We're also on News Talk 98.7 at 5 o'clock today. So if you're around and about, make sure you check us out. Let's see. So let's talk about it. Let's anything you've got in your mind, 865-888-TALK, 865-888-8255. That's the studio lines. They're open. And my co-host is not here, so I'm lonely. If you got something to talk about, call me. Hopefully I can answer it here. All right, so 4 reasons to sell this fall. Let's talk about the fall market and where we're at overall as a whole. So you know inventory across the board is down, and we know that now if you're ever going to sell your home across the market, this is the best opportunity. Even if we just talked to some clients in Farragut, and they were very frustrated, felt like they missed the summer market. And yes, you know, spring markets are where if you have children and everything like that is, you know, coming on the market, that is the busiest time of the year. But keep in mind, there's a lot of movement in this market where some of that inventory didn't sell. Fall, East Tennessee is probably the best time, second best time to sell during the year. Obviously, the Smoky Mountains is a big attraction. We have some out-of-town clients that are moving in. Just spoke with before moving, before getting on the air. And so I think, you know, a lot of things that are with the political climate and everybody's taxing, you're seeing a lot of advantages with East Tennessee, and you're seeing movement, you're seeing jobs, you're seeing the relocations are back up on the rise. We're seeing transfers come in for, you know, people's employment. So another couple that we're looking at our property today, that's a transfer. So remember, guys, if you're thinking about selling, it did not sell in the spring or summer, don't worry. still a great time. Some of the homes, whether it's waterfront, land, some of the views open up. We were showing a waterfront property yesterday, and some of those trees are going to start coming back and really show the beauty of the home. So keep that in mind. Don't fret. We're as busy as we get all the way till a couple of weeks right before the holidays. So keep that in mind. But the major we'll go over 4 reasons why that's positive to sell. Buyers are out in force now looking for their dream home, and they're often not competing with another home. But of course, we know this year they have been doing that. According to the National Association of Realtors, the median days on the market for a listing was 29 days last month. Now that's across the whole U.S. Number 2, there's less competition now. We know the housing inventory is still under 6 months of supply that is needed for a normal housing market. We're chatting with my clients yesterday, and some of the agents that they interviewed, they said, oh, it's a bad market. Oh, it's a great market. Have to understand every price range, every pocket has a certain pool of buyers, and there may be movement in that inventory. As I was speaking with my clients yesterday, we were talking about the overall market is as healthy as it's been in the last 2 years and as busy as we've been in the last 2 years. Reality is we don't have enough inventory as where we're at, and we're seeing some of that come off just because of spring and summer. We're going to see some of that inventory pull off because a lot of my clients are like, hey, well, Ryan, we're just going to sell it next spring. That's an opportunity. But there's never a better time to do that now. And as a seller, think about this. Let's say that I'm living in Farragut or Hardin Valley and some of those school districts, and I didn't find the housing, but I'm still looking. Now there's less competition, but if I'm doing an in-school move, the schools aren't going to be changed. So there's a large population that's looking. And then there's a large segment that schools are not even an issue. So my fear is, guys, if you're home, you're thinking about really selling, nobody can really know the market, the real estate market engagement. I'd say if you're thinking about selling, definitely look at the market and get a snapshot. Call April or myself. Let us come out and give you a free market analysis, let you know exactly what you need to do and where we project the market the next 4 months. If it doesn't make sense, you could always wait till spring. Number 3, there never will be a better time to move up. Prices are projected to appreciate by 5.1% according to CoreLogic at a higher priced home. So it end up costing you more money and a higher down payment when you move. And sometimes, number 4, it's just time to move on with your life. Look at the reasons you decided to sell in the first place. We always go back to your motivation and what's important about the move. And obviously, we want to maximize as much potential as a seller, and as a buyer, we want to get the best deal as possible. But perhaps the time has come for you to start your family to move on and really enjoy that life, whether that downsize, the yard's too much, school districts, transfer, or a new job. So those are some different things why the fall market is moving. I want to talk about the interest rates and kind of how that will relate into 2019. Freddie Mac 30-year loan, we know January's rates, they started out a little bit under 4s. They have now creeped up as we're projecting into the second quarter. Let's go back to the fourth quarter of 18. We're at 4.8. I tell all of our clients, obviously, even if the interest rates go up just a half point, we're very spoiled. We understand the rates are better than we've been at our all-time high. Some of my clients say, I remember when the rates were 18%. That's ouch. So we're blessed not to have an 18% rate. They're very, very affordable. They're very reasonable, but keep in mind, buyers have been maintained. We're all been a little spoiled right here where the rates are being so competitive. Now, in the last fourth quarter, we're going to expect the rates to be about 4.5 to 4.8. First quarter of First quarter 2019, 4.9. We're expecting hovering around 5 around the second quarter. So right around the spring market next year, we're probably going to see between 5 and close to 5.35. Now that's a projected. But you have to look at that, especially in your market between probably, let's say 150, probably all the way to close to 400,000. And what you want to look at and how it's so important to think about this is it's the move-up buyer that is going to be affected. It's that domino effect. So if we're selling their home and they're moving up to a larger home, then there's somebody who's buying their home. So there's kind of that domino effect in place. As the rates creep up, it stops that domino. So it limits what the buyer's affordability is going to be able to have. And that effectively, on an already slower market with some inventory being down, it may affect prices. Then we start switching from I still stay where the seller's market as we're coming on a break here with a minute. But we'll talk about those rates and what does it affect the bottom line numbers of where we're at. And does it affect home prices? I think it does. I think when you restrict the prices, it's going to affect the affordability, and unfortunately, that's the bottom line number. So there's another reason why we're not going to put your home on the market in fall. Stay with us on the other side of the break. We'll talk about some tips and things you can do to get your home ready and kind of round out 2019 as we close in last quarter of the year. Stay with us. You listen to Real Estate with Ryan.
Hey Knoxville, Laura Ingram here. Thinking about selling your home with all the headaches that most people experience? Well, not all real estate agents operate the same. You have someone right here in your own backyard you can trust if you need to sell your home. I'm talking about Ryan Coleman of Hometown Realty. His system outmarkets and outsells. Marketing, and he drives more buyers to your home, resulting in a home by Knoxville News Sentinel, as well as Brian, you're not passed off to another agent on such a big decision like selling your home. You can't have a hometown expert like Ryan on your side. And don't worry about getting stuck owning 2 homes or no home at all. Ryan guarantees to sell your home at a price and deadline acceptable to you, or he'll buy it himself. How cool is that? Call Ryan directly at 693-SOLD. That's 693-7653, or go to ryancoleman.org and start packing.
Honestly provocative talk radio on the Lars Larson Show.
Hundreds of daily dead fish wrappers of America conspire to print the same editorial message against Trump on the same day. You want collusion? There you go. It's the last gasp of the dying industry. Meanwhile, the president keeps making America great again, while top Democrat and potential presidential candidate Governor Andrew Cuomo of New York declares America has never been great.
Lars Larson, weeknights at 7 on Talk Radio 92.3 and AM 760.
Hi, this is John Adams again. You know, if you have any questions or concerns about the programming or what you hear here on Talk Radio 92.3 and AM 760, I'm just a phone call or email away. Call me at 865-525-0620 or email me at jadams@moffit.com.
The views and opinions of other programs which are on Talk Radio 92.3 and AM 760 are those of the listeners and guests of those programs and not necessarily those of the station or management.
It's Real Estate with Ryan on Talk Radio 92.3 and AM 760. Got a question for Ryan? Call the Pure Magic Hotline
At 865-888.
Thank you for staying back with us. We were talking about a little real estate going into the fall market, how that's affecting the interest rates, kind of what we're going to see in 2019 and how we're going to close out the 90-day cycle here. So, what do you think, guys? Should we wait or should we stay? Should we buy now, wait till the fall? Those are things that we're talking about. I got a little indication, a little chart here. It talks about should I buy now or wait till next year? And really to find out what the interest and what's the savings that could do. We got a caller here. Let's answer this caller real quick, and then we'll get into that topic. 1 second. Hello. April, you there? How about now? We'll try one more time. Going once. One more time. Hello? Is that my wife calling in? Oh. Well, we're going right into the show, April. Hey, so she came in and maybe she said she wanted to help me out. She just couldn't resist being here. Well, hey, while I've got you on the line, I know we talked about a lot of things this week. We just finished our We had a banquet the other day. I know we can't announce that, but there's a little bit of news that next week that we'll be talking about on the show. Yep. Yeah, glad for newspapers and some exciting stuff there. We'll talk about the show and really honored about some of the awards that were out at the end of the week. So, all right, so we got some new inventory. You want to tell the audience about that? We're busy, and we're telling everybody the same thing, so don't lose hope. I think it's going to be a great close to the end of the year. All right, April, thank you for joining in with us. We appreciate it. Hope to see you next week. All right, see you. Bye-bye. All right, and that's April with kind of a little update that maybe I forgot in the beginning part of the show. She's always keeping me in line. You see that, guys? I'm on the air, she's calling in. That's very important. So a lot of congrats, a lot of busy this week. Don't want to leave anybody out. But as we were talking back on topic, should I buy now or wait? Let's give it a little example. Rates at 4.65 now, interest rate, at a home price of $250. That's a payment approximately $1,289. If we wait to next year, we just talked about 2019, we see where the rates will probably be about 5.2 to maybe 5.5. That means the home price appreciation could be up, and CoreLogic is saying it could be up 5%. And that's conservative. It could be across the board, just depends on where you're at. $262,000 for a sales price. Your mortgage payment would go up almost $150, $1,442. So monthly, yearly, and over a 30-year period on a 30-year loan, that could cost you about $55,000. Nobody really thinks about those numbers until they see it. I've got a chart here. We're streaming live. You guys watching us on Facebook, every site that's out there, Twitter, Instagram, all those places. Really appreciate you following us. But I've got a chart, so my audience on the radio can't see that, but it talks about our inventory home prices from 2008 to present. So if you see that graph and you see how that's went down for the inventory, and you see right here, 2018, it's at the bottom. And as you know, as inventory goes down, the prices go up. And just the opposite effect is that the inventory increases, there's more offers from buyers, keyword offers, right? They're making offers on property. One thing that the National Association of Realtors talks about is foot traffic. Foot traffic is something that you don't really see online. You see it when we drive through neighborhoods. It's not done through online reports. It's overall demand to the property. And that foot traffic, actually I read what the National Association of Realtors actually talks about, that the foot traffic each month receives data on the number of properties shown to prospective buyers by a realtor. The data reveals a number of buyers that are actually out there looking for homes, not just window shopping on the internet. And that's so huge that you see so many views that people are looking online and they're not real views. one thing I want you to talk about, and if you're thinking about putting your home on the market in the fall and where you see it, and so you don't just think I'm telling you, hey, the fall market's really great in East Tennessee. Look at this traffic in October, how it just shoots off the chart. I don't know what chart, that was 17, so we haven't projected for 18. But in 2017, you look in the October, off the chart for buyer traffic and foot traffic. The reason being, there's opportunity out there. And I just want you just to think about that. If you're putting your home on the market, or if you're selling, or if you're like the clients that we just helped the other day and they're a little discouraged, don't be discouraged. We're going to pick it back up. It all starts with the right agent, though. It starts with the right agent, right marketing plan. I was chatting with them a little bit yesterday, and there's two most important things. Is number one, the agent that you pick to sell the property that you're marketing. I think it has a lot to do with it. You know, everything's perfect when everything goes smooth. But when things start to get a little bumpy and things come around and they're not moving, the market changes. You know, the real estate market is always cyclical. It goes up, it goes down, and you need somebody that's been there through that can walk you through it. And I think April and I have been there doing it for a long time. I know I have as well, and have had clients numerous situations. And I think the difference kind of what our approach and what our company is really all about, it's when you call us, you get us. It's that hands-on approach. I'm a firm believer this is such a big move. We talked about it last week in our show, how it could be one of the most stressful moves that you could make in the real estate market. And you've got so many different things going on, whether you're buying, selling, you know, who do you turn to? Who do you trust? That's why we do these two shows every week. And yes, it's a little exhausting, but we want to do that for you guys. And it makes a difference because you need to know an expert. You need to know somebody that you can go to, even if it's 6 months, 12 months down the road. I had a lovely little couple that called me, and they said, Ryan, we hear you on the air all the time, and wanted me to come out and just talk about their property, give them some tips, tell them what we need to do, but they're not going to be looking here for another 6 months. That's what we do. We know it's a process, and you need somebody that's going to be here to walk you through the step, every step of the way. And as things are changing from technology to streaming to videos, all these different things, we've got that covered. But it goes back to the two most important things is obviously the agent that you choose and the pricing and marketing of your property. If those things are not right, you'll understand that why in the Knoxville market, some of the homes don't sell the first time around, 50%. So keep that in mind. I think, you know, overall, what are we seeing for this year? The last 90 days of the market, I think you're going to see a lot more relocations. You're going to see a lot more people, buyers that are moving in. I think you're going to see a lot of traffic and missing inventory on a slower market. I think you're going to see sellers still continue to get multiple offers. We've got a couple second showings today, working on a couple multiple offers. That's an opportunity. I think buyers that are coming in a new area, understanding exactly that now that the homes on the market now, you're dealing with some of the best sellers that are motivated. They're seriously committed to get the property sold, and they're not in between on whether they're going to sell or not. And that's a great opportunity for a buyer to maybe come in here. Maybe it's been on the market for a couple months, and the seller hadn't got the price that they were looking for, and then you can come in here and do a little wheeling and dealing and get the home that you and your family are looking for and have those holidays at the home and have that Merry Christmas on a brand new home. What an awesome time that would be, right? Always, always, always goes quicker than I expect. I appreciate you guys listening to us. Real Estate with Ryan every Saturday live here in the studio. Live, no recorded. We're live doing it every week. Talk Radio 92.3 FM, AM 760. If you ever need us for anything, easy number 693-SOLD. That's 693-SOLD. Or RyanColeman.org. Make sure you guys follow us and like our page. We're giving tickets away next week. It is the Alabama game. They're going to be good tickets, good opportunity for you to win. You're just going to have to watch us on social media and enter the contest. So I hope you guys follow us. Georgia, Tennessee, today. Hope it's a great game. Hope the Vols give 110% effort. We'll be watching you. Hope you guys have a great weekend and follow us next week here. Take care.
retirement have many twists and turns.
Well, thank you guys for following us this week. It's been a busy week. You know, it's always harder to do these shows without April. It's so much easier. I don't know how these guys do it for hours and hours and hours and talking. So that's why I have 30 minutes, so I can be in and out. And we always want to keep you fresh topics, new topics. If there's anything that you're thinking about that you want to look at, anything that you want us to talk about, we're going to have some investing topics. We're going to talk about some multifamily as well. We've got a lot of good stuff we'll talk about. We've got some environmental issues if you own real estate and things like that you definitely want to keep involved. But most importantly, we got some great tickets given away. April said, let's make it the Alabama game. And so it's going to be the next home game that comes up. We'll be giving those live on social media. It'll be one of our properties that are coming soon, so we'll do that. Somebody's going to be picked. We're going to give them away. And so you want to make sure you got to be in it to win it. Okay, so make sure you like our page. Follow our page. There are going to be some good seats. They're not going to be up there in the nosebleeds, I promise you. They're going to be good seats, so it'll be worth following us. Anybody that you know that's selling real estate or needs some real estate advice, thinking about buying or selling, we'd be honored for that referral. Make sure you got your Sunday papers. You might see some guys out there that you know. Hope you guys have a great weekend, and we'll see you back next week here live in the studios on 92.3 FM, AM 760. Thank you.